Welcome to our joke show. My name is Tom, and you are.
Mike. I'm Mike. I I thought you were going to say, and you are. We welcome you with open arms, and
So clearly, we have rehearsed this. It's obvious. Yes. So
we have a script.
yes, we have a loose script that I'm not even sure what I did with it. But I think we were supposed to introduce ourselves. Hey, who this is geared towards? This is geared towards dads and supporters and friends of dads. I would say how we define dad is very broad because
Very broad.
because I'm the dad of a 5-year-old, and Mike, you're the dad of
Two dogs.
two dogs. So you have two furry kids.
Anybody can be a dad.
Yes, yes. Stepdad, adopted, or just a friend of a dad. I think this
Right?
all the content
Friend
is
of a dad.
relatable. Yep, yep.
Yep.
So we decided to start this adventure mainly because, well, we're childhood friends, so we don't have a lot of time to connect. So we thought this would be a good project where we could connect and just try to be funny just with each other. And if anybody else watches, then that's a bonus. And also because we're incredibly witty and we often just laugh at our own jokes. So this is just a good outlet for us. Would you second that, Mike, or what would you add to that?
I would. Very witty.
Uh huh.
God, I'm surprised I don't have a Netflix show.
Well, that
Actually, shocked.
that's coming next. And then yeah, I guess the other is for us to start to create some a body of dad jokes that are out there, but also to critique them along the way.
A body of work.
Yes, yeah. So we're gonna do this for at least a couple weekends and see how it goes.
Yep.
Mike this also is inspired by two. This is also inspired by two different events. So the first one for me, I didn't even share this with Mike earlier, was I was watching a friend who is in the military, and he's a commander at a military base, and he started off the weekly update for the base, which he streams on Facebook because of the pandemic. He started off the stream with a bunch of dad jokes, and I was like, wow, that's pretty cool, and safe, but also there's a skill set there that that requires. So I don't have any brass on my shoulders, but I'm a dad, and
You were in the CAP.
I was in the Civil Air Patrol, but
I think I was asked to leave the CAP.
it's because you refused to march.
I didn't know my right from my left.
That is also true. Yes, yes. So, and then the other inspiration was right about that same time that I saw my friend actually kind of broadcast out and start their meeting with the dad jokes. Mike sent me a text with a joke, and
That I wrote.
that he wrote, and it clearly was in the dad joke category, and it's actually what kind of spurred our conversation as to why we're here today. And he will where's the reverb? That was one of the questions. So people want the reverb back, I guess. So it's kind of what spurred why we're here today. We do have criteria that we're going to evaluate each dad joke on. And Mike, do you want to
Yes.
talk about that? And I can certainly fill in the blanks.
Sure. So, applications for the joke that may sound a little academic, but it just means places and
Yeah,
times
like
that it
where
is
where do you
appropriate.
where can you tell this dad joke?
Where can you tell it, right? When would it make sense to tell it, right?
Yep. So examples would be: do you tell it only with family? Can you tell it at
Right.
church? I mean, that's a kind of higher bar. Can you tell it at work? Got to be careful there. Can you tell it in the classroom if you're a teacher, or if you get if you're somebody that works in the classroom? And then kind of the highest bar is, can you tell it if you're running for public office? So if it can be told there, then it's truly going to have broad appeal. So that's one of the measures that we're doing. Sorry, go ahead.
So, hopefully, yes, Joe Biden.
Right. If Joe Biden
When he
can,
starts to watch this, if he uses one of our jokes,
right.
we know that we can basically end the show.
That's right.
We have achieved nirvana.
That's right.
It's like Biden's like, hey everybody, boom, I heard this in the Dad Joke podcast, and then we're like, we're done. Thanks.
Yeah,
You ruined it,
absolutely.
Joe. You tanked our golden egg.
Exactly.
The
Yes.
rooster that laid it. I don't know.
So what's the next criteria, Mike?
So criteria one was where it is appropriate to tell the joke, and then the second was why this is a good joke, and good being open to interpretation there.
Well, it has to. I mean, I think with any good dad joke, it has to make the person cringe to some extent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What level of cringe is, one of the determining factors, how good it is. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
And then we had some other things for improvement. So my delivery,
Or my delivery. Yeah.
or your delivery.
We're gonna rate each other on delivery. Yeah.
I have frequently been accused by everybody of just butchering jokes that my father told, and any joke that my father told, I cannot repeat here because they were all fairly gross, and definitely Joe Biden would not tell this joke that my father. Maybe some of your father's jokes.
Yeah.
Yes, but anyway, I always botch deliveries. My
And-
father had pretty good delivery.
Yeah, and you're usually good on the articulation standpoint. Maybe not so much on the timing and the pacing. Whereas I always botch the pronunciation and often kind of the word combinations that come with dad jokes. So between the two of us, we will have some critiquing to do, and I think that we will also. Our hope is that we will grow in our ability to be better deliverers of the dad joke.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's it. So we want to level up.
Yes, that's a good way of putting it. Yes.
Want to level up.
And the audience, in terms of who this is appropriate for, we're making this PG.
It is.
So as long as you didn't watch our technical difficulties live stream, which is now behind us and will be erased, it's very safe for kids. Yeah. So moving forward.
Yes, this is G.
Yeah.
This is G.
This is G. That's a good point.
So,
So-
which is actually kind of tough hanging around you. I feel like, I mean, I kind of have my G mode that that I can do professionally, but sometimes when you hang out with friends, it can it's thin ice.
Yeah, we start to feed off of each other. Oh, by the way, I do have to share my my dad joke official shirt. So, dad joke loading. In case anybody can't see it and they're just listening.
For all the tech difficulty right there.
Yes, yeah. So
Dad joke buffering.
it's very
that
true
was
for what we
good.
experienced today. So, do you want to
Yeah.
kick things off with this is an original joke written by you, texted to me, I think last weekend. So
I did. I was so pleased with myself. I texted like everybody that I knew,
yeah.
which is like 5 people.
So this is
No,
fresh. This is not something that's been around
is-
for a while.
I did wonder about that, but that's maybe something that we could talk about once I deliver it, because I did wonder. It's like, how has nobody told this joke? But I'll go ahead and I'll do the joke. So,
Okay.
what do you call it when you are lost in a corn maze? What do you call it when you're lost in a corn maze?
I'm just going to pretend like I don't know the answer because most of the time I won't. So this is acting right now. I don't know, Mike. What?
Cornfusing.
Cornfusing. So luckily we don't have a laugh track because I would probably play it here. Good joke.
So there you go.
So the people that you texted it to, just out of curiosity, did they were they inspired? Did they like it?
Yeah, they did. And I wondered, well, a couple of people that I texted to were from the region where you and I grew up.
Lots
which
of lots
is
of corn.
Eastern Shore-
Yeah.
Eastern Shore of Maryland.
Yeah.
And after that, and I wonder, even when I told it just now, so we can talk about delivery in a minute, but cornfusing, right? Or should it be cornfused? And I feel like that's something that somebody would have said in high school, like, I'm confused. It's like, what? That's you, idiot.
Well, and the good news is because it's a dad joke, pretty much anything goes. It can be confusing. Like
Confused,
we're
right?
not going to be that.
Got confused.
Yeah, yeah. See, yeah. So
This movie's confusing.
Did-
I don't understand it.
so I mean, it speaks to our farmer viewers, and agriculture. It speaks to our.
The agricultural industry.
It speaks to our vegetarians and other people that are viewing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Becca says that in the chat, "cornfused" is a real word. Okay. Guess I'm learning something new, but my vocabulary is very limited.
I don't, I don't want to, I don't really want to call your wife on the mat here, but
I
is
know.
it?
Yeah.
Is confused in Merriam-Webster?
Yeah.
Is it?
And she's fortunate because we don't have the ability to go really check anything. Because if we go off screen, unless we use our phones, then Mike becomes muted and it throws off the live stream. It's in the Urban Dictionary. Well,
No.
yeah.
No.
That's questionable.
Urban Dictionary doesn't count.
Well,
Urban Dictionary is terrible.
for the work that you do in academia, yes, you're right. But
Yes,
for the
it is.
dad joke crowd, it might be our go-to. Just saying.
Well, that is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah.
But
So
Anyway,
and
so
did you share the joke
confusing.
with did you share the joke with your wife, and what did she think? Because that's also
I did. I shared it with my wife. She liked it.
Okay.
She liked it. I shared it with my mom.
Okay.
I shared it with my little brother. He just wrote, "Huh."
Right. He's probably one of the
Not haha.
He's one of the tougher critics. So
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway.
I shared it with another friend here who lives in the area. He's not from. He's from California, and he thought it was amusing.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Probably has a little
And
bit
it
less.
kinda-
A little bit less to relate to because he's from California. Not a lot of cornfields,
Yeah.
corn mazes.
people, right?
So where?
People grow other crops in California.
It's true, and a whole nother level of
Keeping this G.
a whole nother level of confusing. Yeah.
It is. This is a whole nother level of confusing.
So, where is this appropriate to tell if we're looking at our standards? We figured out what makes it a good joke. It's because it's the first joke that we've told on here, and it's something that you created, so that clearly is good. But where is this appropriate?
An agricultural conference.
I mean, it would definitely be a hit. So, like, if you're up there and you're giving the keynote, and you want to
Yeah.
kind of start things off and break the ice, this would be.
Yeah. Does
awesome.
Kellogg's have a conference? Maybe we could be the warm up. Hello, welcome, Kellogg's, welcome,
I am.
Rice Krispies.
I am
or the
sure
General
even
Mills.
the corn industry has a conference that they could use this. So
That's right.
you're welcome to use it, corn industry. It's public domain at this point, right? I just want to assume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is it is public domain.
Yeah. So we're here for
Share and share like creative license,
correct CC
CC with attribution.
with attribution. Right. Could you tell this joke, like if we started looking at the highest standard, could you tell it in church?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
You might want to. I think the only thing I would say, being mindful, if I'm being mindful for a second, that yeah, if you didn't want to offend people, like my kind of, I'm confused. Maybe somebody would think that I'm making fun of a certain way of talking or speaking.
True.
Maybe not do that at church. You
Right.
could do that.
You got to be
maybe
and you have to have
in a podcast.
right, and you have to have a flatter delivery when you have it in terms of
Right.
the inflection in your voice. Good point.
Yes, but be mindful of your audience.
Good
I
point.
guess is the
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
So you can shift it. You can, yeah. At church, it's like
And for
we have a
and within politics,
we have a yeah. We have all these extra cornfields, and we thought we would put some corn mazes in them. The layouts are a little confusing, but we think that our constituency will find a way.
I like how you build into that. Yeah. So you could make
give
it
us more money.
So the the pastor could even build it into their sermon after they do the joke. I like it. Like they could bring it full
Yeah.
circle.
Yeah. So
Okay.
there are also different types of deliveries. You could just do it like I did it, or you could build it in. You could work it in, mold it.
I like it.
I think that's a skill.
That's
set
a whole
too.
nother
That's
level.
more of a pun.
Yeah, that's beyond
That
dad
is.
joke status. I would agree.
Yeah.
So, I guess if making sure we're conscious of time, since we were only supposed to be going for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Well,
Ooh, you
well,
better
15,
tell
20.
your joke.
Well, yeah, but so then the other thing is I have to rank your delivery.
Oh.
And I think we might have to, you might get a pass this time because delivery, you did it over text. And that was the
did.
first time
And
I
text
saw.
is weird.
Yeah, text is weird. I mean, like,
Text is technically a mediated type of
Yeah.
communication.
Right.
Because communication is mediated through technology.
that's, I think you just put on a different hat. That I don't know that I have the processing power to compute, but yeah. So I would say that you did it over text, and that would just instantly give you a 10 out of 10 in terms of delivery, just because it's mediated by technology, as you just said.
Yeah. Mediated by technology. It's not an interpersonal communication like this. So, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, no, actually, is this? We're still mediated through technology. But anyway, it doesn't. Yeah. Point is, what-
Comment in the chat. This is a little too deep of a subject for dads.
yeah.
I'm getting the eye roll to move on.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah,
guess
okay.
I'm going to ask my joke. Or I'm not going to ask. I'm going to tell my joke.
Ask your joke. Could
I'm going to
ask
ask.
it to
Yeah,
yourself.
I'm going to ask. I'm going to ask what you think of my joke.
Okay.
And I'm not as original as you because I didn't have time to come up with a dad joke. But I may be inspired. So I am using a book. It's Ultimate Dad Joke Book. 501 Hilarious Jokes and Puns by Hugh
Why
Murray.
501?
Because he's probably a dad and doesn't like just saying 500. Thought 501 was funny. Yeah, you know. So, anyway, have to give a nod to Hugh Murray for their dad joke book here. So I found, and he's divided this book into several different sections, and they seem to ramp up in their level of extremeness with dad jokiness. So this is towards the beginning of the book, and this is a little more palatable for at least for our first episode. So I'll give it to you. So, what do you call a bear with no teeth? Any idea?
I give up.
A gummy bear. See, I told you it was going to start off really, really light.
That's
He does ramp
that's
up.
good.
They get a little more
That's good.
complex.
A gummy bear.
Mm-hmm.
A gummy bear. Okay. Hugh Murray. Is that an original Hugh Murray?
I don't. He doesn't really say if it's original or not. He could have compiled all these, but let's
Okay.
just say that these are Hugh's.
Okay.
So shout out to him. I also picked that joke because it was probably the easiest one for me to deliver.
And where would you tell it?
Where would I tell this? Certainly any like public, state, like or national park, like that would go over well. Probably tell it at the zoo. It would go over well.
Go to zoo.
Yeah, those are the areas that it would go over really, exceptionally well. But I would say it's pretty safe all the way around. Like I would tell it at school. I would tell it at work. Tell it in front of family. Certainly, it's very kid friendly. Like that's something that I think even my 5-year-old would grasp and potentially
What do you
laugh at.
call a gummy bear with no teeth?
Or no, what do you tell?
Wait.
What do you call a bear with no teeth? Say this.
This is what?
Yeah.
What do you call it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
This is why
Joke,
this is
one
why I
more
have a
time.
book, because I have to actually read the jokes. Otherwise, I end up doing what you just did. Yeah. So would I tell it in church? Oh, that's a little tricky, especially as churches have an older population right now, and a lot of them are probably denture wearing, and I guess I would be a little sensitive to being careful about that crowd. But I think for the most part, it's safe for church. So my son actually did roll his eyes and laughed at the joke. I can report from my wife, so that's good. I was correct.
Okay.
So and then is the joke safe for a political campaign or for a politician to say? What do you think?
Yeah, I could totally see Kamala Harris saying this.
Yes. Yeah. I love how you name drop. Yeah, that's good.
Like I know her.
Right. Right. No, I think you're right. It's pretty safe.
Totally. Yeah. Pretty safe. Yeah.
And what makes it a good joke, or what was funny about it? I think it's just because it's so simple, right? Like it's basic.
Yeah. Gummy bears they're tasty. I wondered if you were attracted to this joke because it involved gummy bears.
Yeah, I do have a thing for gummy anything. That's right. Yeah.
Gummy worms,
Gum-
gummy bears,
gummy-
gummy sharks,
Yes.
gummy frogs.
Yes, that's true. There's probably a little bit of subconscious attraction that I had to
Well,
this joke.
but then could it doesn't really work though if you say, what do you call a shark with no teeth? A gummy shark, because
Yeah, it's not as universal.
it's not as common.
Right.
It's not as,
You say gummy
or what do you
bear,
call-
everybody has an image. You say gummy, anything else,
Right.
and some people aren't as exposed to candy like I am in terms of having all these choices and all these experiences over my 40 some years of being alive with different gummies.
What if you said, what do you call a bear with no teeth? And then somebody said, what? And you went, gummy bears. Dun, 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 gummy bears.
Also,
Would-
got to be really careful about that one because I think there's probably, you have a window of people that have seen that. And clearly
Disney
you,
will come after us.
well, Disney could come after us. There is that possibility. But it's also, you probably got a 10-year window of people that saw that growing up, maybe 15-year. And then you've got some parents that have seen it. I agree. But I don't think it's going to be as universal. So I think you've got to be careful.
Okay.
Yeah.
So be careful when you strap on some sort of other cultural reference.
Yes. It adds another layer, and it's certainly a layer that could make it fall flat on its face. If you were at
Right.
Disney
But if-
World or Disney, if you were just at a Disney theme park in general, you could tell that joke to just
With 5 other 40-year-old dads.
yes.
40
I mean, as
yeah.
you're waiting in line for hours with your kids, and you've got all these other dads around you, that's the perfect place for that kind of extra layer of delivery. Good point. Yeah. So, how would you rank my delivery?
I'm going to give it a pass.
Okay. Just to keep us on equal footing because we're fair.
Just keep us on equal footing because this is new.
Uh-huh.
And we don't really have a lot of criteria yet.
Yeah, it's
So,
true. We're
I
kind of
mean-
we're kind of working all this out. Good
Yeah.
point. So we've been going for 24 minutes. I had a bunch of
Wow.
I had a bunch of backup jokes, but I think we should start to wrap here. Otherwise,
we
we're going
should.
to lose people. But what
We will.
what we are asking for people to do is to send us some dad jokes, and you can put them in the
Yes.
comments of the video. This video will get archived, so if people watch it when it's not live, they can make a comment for a dad joke to submit, and we will consider it. We'd love to be able to use your dad joke and also critique it live. So our plan is to have a live event, even though we did not start. What's up?
Just critique it.
Oh yeah,
We'll grade it.
we'll grade it, critique it. Yeah,
That's what we need a scale. We need something more than just like a pass
well,
fail.
we're
I
gonna
think
we're gonna
that's-
work on that.
Okay.
Well, when I say critique it, using all the different criteria that we've been talking about. Yeah.
We'll have a rubric.
Yes. We're going to work on that. That's going to be our project this week. So our plan is to do a live stream every Saturday at 9:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, or 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. People are already submitting jokes into the comments, so we're just going to save those for next time until you and I will review
Awesome.
those. So I'm glad people are already submitting. Keep them coming. And we'll see where this takes us. Here comes another one. Oh, okay. They're putting the answer to the joke because that certainly helps. Yeah, it helps. You can submit your joke, but also please include the answer. Otherwise, we might be a little lost. So make sure you give the
Yeah.
joke itself,
Well,
and
or
then
don't.
the punch. Yeah, because that could get really interesting if we have to make up the
That could
punchline.
just get interesting.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Get
like
weird.
give us material. So
That's like, I don't know if either of us are that smart. We probably wouldn't figure it out. It's like, what?
thanks for watching. We will see
Thank
you
you.
next Saturday.
Yes.
At not at the same time because we were delayed so much this time, but we will see you at,
Yeah.
as I said, 9:30 a.m.
Pacific.
PST, 12:30 p.m. EST. Yeah.
Thank you.
Nicely